So there you go. Why do I drop everything? This is the NZXT H1. Do you remember this beauty? The case that may or may not have had some problems? I'm sure NZXT is hoping everyone's forgotten that by now. If anyone asks, there was no recall and there were no issues with the last one at all. Anyway, let's get this unboxed, build up a PC, and actually see if the new H1 is any good and whether you should buy it. After a short word from this video's sponsor. DDR5 memory is here, and Corsair has you covered. Extra bandwidth, sky-high speeds, and slick new designs make Corsair DDR5 shine, with new Intel XMP 3.0 profiles that allow for crazy high overclocks with just a single click. Choose Vengeance for stylish performance without breaking the bank, or go all out with Dominator Platinum for insane speeds, stability, and jaw-dropping RGB effects. Learn more today with that link down below. So yes, the NZXT H1, the case that has been, well, recalled, rejigged, and finally relaunched. It comes in two different colours. You've got a white and a black. Last time I had the white and I think it looked absolutely fantastic, but I didn't actually like the look of the glass on the front because it sort of showed off some of the parts that you almost didn't want to see. I think my main criticism really with the old one was twofold. Firstly, that you didn't really have enough airflow if you wanted to put some really high-end components in this. And then in terms of using like a B550 or a newer Z690 motherboard or anything really in one of these chassis was that it doesn't actually support PCI Generation 4 on the riser cable, which can cause some big issues and you might actually get a PC that doesn't display anything at all, which would be really quite annoying. I will have to check in post-production whether this is actually bigger. I know it's definitely bigger in terms of its like internal space, but when it comes to physical size, that looks more or less exactly the same really as the previous generation, except they have actually fixed my biggest gripe really, which is that they've added some extra ventilation. Still got glass on the front though. Probably would have preferred mesh, to be honest, because again, like, what are you going to see here? I think the absolute best thing about the H1 is the build experience, because it's probably the quickest ITX PC I've ever put together, and especially if you have done it before, doing it a second time is ridiculously easy. Have they added a little bit more resistance this time? Because last time that just slid open. Let's make ourselves some space. As you can see, we're going to try a load of different graphics cards to see what can actually fit in this. Oh, we've got a fan at the back now, look at that. It is a little bit on the small side, hopefully that's not very loud, but we wanted more ventilation and it does look as if we've got it. This is genuinely absurdly stiff and I just don't understand why. I know it slides open. Why are you not doing it? There we go. It's just a little bit factory stiff. So this is the new panel. As you can see, slightly more open. You still have little dust filters here that you can remove. I ended up doing this with my last PC because the graphics card didn't actually fit in there otherwise. We've got our box of goodies and then our PCI Generation 4 riser cable here, which should actually give you a decent step up in terms of performance. It enables things like smart access memory, better resizable bar. I don't know if that's actually a requirement anymore. It was at launch, maybe not anymore. Power cable, back plates, actually supports LGA 1700, so if you do want to use the latest Intel CPUs, then this will work out the box. A few different screws and things for the motherboard, and then your little 3.5mm adapter. Having a look on the inside, as you can see, this fan is actually going to feed directly into the graphics card, which is pretty cool. Turning it around to the other side, you can see our stepped up PSU. This is now a 750 watt SFX. This will come standard with the H1. So if you look at this and you think that's a really expensive case, this is one of the reasons why. It's because you're also getting the chassis, the power supply, and the CPU cooler as well. The time is 17:23, and obviously I'm filming, but let's see how quickly I can actually get this assembled. The screws actually stay on top, which is pretty cool. So there you go. Why do I drop everything? Every video. So if I open this up, you can then see that you do have a 140 liquid cooler. It's an all-in-one. Your motherboard just drops in the little basement bit down there. And then all of your cables are the right size and are pretty much pre-routed. So that's one of the reasons why this is going to be so quick. Or I suppose, as you Americans say, pre-routed. That was a good impression, wasn't it? Hey, those cables have been pre-routed. Awful. Let's assemble our little PC then. We've gone for a more budget-orientated board. This is a B550M ITX from ASRock, paid by me in cash. Johnny Cash. Is that appropriate for the H1? You know the song I'm talking about. Here it is, as we take out the box. That is really lightweight, actually. This is a Ryzen board. It's B550, and we're going to use a 5800X, as this is pretty much the gaming CPU I think most people would probably put in this. It's going to be great for editing and gaming. And of course it supports PCI Generation 4 as well, so we can test that properly in a bit. We can then grab some RAM. This is from Corsair. They've sent this out, 3600 megahertz Vengeance RGB RT. And this is actually aimed for Ryzen builds. Oh, it's white as well. That's pretty cool, that. White and black. M.2 SSD. We're using a Sabrent 2TB SSD here. This is PCI Generation 3, not 4. It doesn't really matter for the purposes of this video, and probably most games anyway. If you do want to see that video, by the way, explaining why Gen 4 SSDs at the moment aren't that much of a big deal, you can find that video in the top right corner of your screen where we do some cool tests. So we have our motherboard all ready to go, and we should just be able to drop this in now. Plenty of room here. You've seen all of this before, haven't you? You know how to screw a motherboard. It's what I do every day. Get all of the power cables and line these up with the slots. We're going to cover up our lovely RGB RAM here. Tell you what, I love this. Literally every cable is exactly where you want it. That's amazing. Of course, for your PCIe riser cable, you just clip that in at the bottom. Something else that is also brand new for this year is at the top, there is a little fan controller, because they know a lot of ITX motherboards don't have many fan ports, and it's a way to actually get everything all nice and neat for you. So you've got your CPU fan, your pump, and your case fan. Now let's tackle the cooler. I imagine this plate like slides off. Yep, because that's Intel. Then we can grab the AMD one, slide that on there. Can you tell I've done this before? Attach the hooks with the screws. You then just lay this over the CPU. Fix down. And then in theory, the whole thing should just press down. Oh, we've got a little bit of a clearance issue. Only a little bit. There we go. Fix that back. It's now 17:46, but obviously I've been filming, so sort of take off 10 minutes. And then comes the bit that I'm most interested in really, which is the graphics card. A aftermarket 3060 from Gigabyte. This is a 2.5 slot card, I believe, and it's pretty long. So pretty much in the last H1, this wouldn't have fitted. So that looks like it's gonna be pretty easy. No problem at all there. Ah, I'll tell you what actually as well, that's pretty neat. If you do want to remove the SSD bay, then you can for better airflow. So if you do have one of those pass-through cards, that's going to be a nice little feature actually. Seriously, NZXT, you've done a fantastic job on this so far. This looks pretty banging. But is it banging enough to support this big boy, a 6800 XT Merc edition from XFX? My money's on no. Tell you what though, what an absolutely beautiful graphics card. Look at that. That means business. That is a lot bigger. I don't know. Oh, it was so close. It's too long though. That does not fit in. That was a pretty extreme test though. Close but no cigar. Let me go grab another one. And I know what you're thinking, PC Centric, why do you have all of these graphics cards? Well, they are loaner samples, and they're so I can do these tests for you. Because who's gonna have egg on their face if they buy this case and then buy a graphics card? Finally, you've waited ages, you've got one, and then it doesn't fit. You. So we're going to go for a TUF Edition 6800 XT. And the interesting thing about this graphics card is that the TUF 3080 wasn't actually as big as this. It was slightly thinner and it did fit in the original H1. And then as soon as I got hold of this, I thought, oh, I can just put that in the H1, the 3080 did. Nope. So this is a good demonstration of what you hopefully can fit in the new H1, but wouldn't be able to in the old one. Yes, there we go. Snug as a bug in a rug. I think we're done. Nice, quick and easy build. Looks pretty sick. I'll give you a quick little twirl look. Try not to drop it this time. Give it some lid. That's what my sister's fiance always used to say about my haircut. Said I had a schlid. Wasn't very nice of him, was it? Ah, the only thing is, the fans are very close to the side. So as I did last time round, I'm going to remove this dust filter, because we don't want broken fans. There we go, look, that's much better. Don't really need the dust filter anyway, to be honest. Then you can put the glass panel back on. And that, I think, is done. I really would prefer if that was mesh on the front, but you can't get everything that you want in life. There's not really much to it. It's very much just a black box, but I want that. Didn't need any cable ties, any cable management. Really very easy. The power cable plugs in almost as you'd expect it to at the bottom, but everything else has to go on the motherboard, which is fine. It's just sometimes a little bit tricky depending on what you need to plug in. I've got a Google reminder on my phone to actually put my clothes away, because I did a wash load like a week ago and I still haven't actually paired up my socks and put my pants away. I am living in a hive of clean pants.
Pants.
But yeah, here we go. No horrible noise just yet. Hey, that's what we like to see. Is he going to find my installer Windows as well? This is an older SSD. I haven't used this in quite a few months. Come on, Windows. Come on, Windows. Yes. Yes. It's Thursday the 29th of April. Has it really been that long? You know what? That might actually be new. There are now 2 USB ports on the top. That's 2 full-size and 1 Type-C. Let's go for some Horizon Zero Dawn. True story, I've actually booked next Friday off so I can play the new one. So if you don't get a video, it's because I'm playing games, because that's how I roll, boys and girls. All 4% of you. I know you're there, ladies. Okay then, we are here in Horizon Zero Dawn. GPU I've overclocked ever so slightly, just to really sort of push this thing to its limits. And while the GPU temperature is definitely climbing a little bit, really not an issue at all, is it? Clearly, with all of the extra ventilation, and of course the extra fan, seems to do a good job. And a final noise test for you. Consider me impressed on the CPU, 73 degrees as well if you're interested. This is one of those times when I have to almost stand back and admire what NZXT have done here. They've listened to fan feedback, they've made a much better chassis, it's much better for 2022. Yes, it can't fit every GPU, but when you look at the size of this thing, I think that's pretty understandable. I think the only thing that I would say about this, other than a couple of criticisms, is that you definitely should pay very close attention to the Meshlicious, as this is the ITX case that I personally use, and while you definitely will need to buy an extra mesh panel to get the best results, you can actually fit a 240 all-in-one in this, and potentially an even bigger GPU. The only thing I would change is just to get rid of that glass on the front, because there's just no need for it. Maybe sell an optional panel when you can get another mesh one for the front, that would be good. If you've enjoyed this video, then smash that like button and get subscribed. And of course, if you do want to check out current pricing on this, then as always, you can find it linked down below with my Amazon affiliate links. And while you're down there, grab your DDR5 with Corsair. Vengeance DDR5 has a slick new compact look, and has been designed to get the very best out of Intel's Alder Lake CPUs. Dominator Platinum DDR5 meanwhile takes it to an entirely new level with its gorgeous heat spreader finish and vivid RGB lighting that's all powered by Corsair iCUE. Level up your memory today with that link down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.